So, the house was built by Josiah Keith. He's the son of James Keith, the first reverend in the town of Bridgewater. James came over in 1630. We're not sure when Josiah was born, but he was born sometime around King Philip's War, maybe like right before. And he inherited this land in around 1700, 1690-ish. He was herding James's cattle back and forth from here in Bridgewater. At which point he got kind of fed up of moving them back and forth from between here and Bridgewater. And he built a lumber mill. And from the lumber mill, he built the corn crib that's outside. Lived in there for a little while he was cutting all the lumber to build the house. Built the house. It was, as I said when you guys walked in, it was originally a 2-story cape. Sometime around 1790, it rotted out, became a half cape. Josiah Keith, not really anything noteworthy. He built a tavern over where the mobile station is. He had a large family. He had like 13 children or something. His son, his eldest son, also named Josiah Keith Jr., captain of the town militia during the Revolution. I mean, during the French and Indian War. Apologize. Not really anything noteworthy about him either, other than he owned a slave, which his eldest son, Josiah Keith III, inherited, and he freed her. Started a corporation with the Ames family, at which point every cannon used in the northern campaign of the Revolution was built by the Ames and Keith family. Was called up to Lexington and conquered. Didn't fight, they were late. Fought in Bunker Hill, and then followed the Continental Army all the way to New York, fighting the Battle of New York, which somehow he survived out of there. He only to come back to have to, work all his businesses for a few years until the Whiskey Rebellion, at which point he had to take out a bunch of loans from the townspeople. They didn't like him to begin with because he freed the slave woman that he inherited, and they called his loans in early, and he ended up killing himself. At which point, the house stayed in the family for a few more years until they intermarried. One of the daughters intermarried with the Williams family, and it went from it stayed in the Williams family up until I think like the early 1960s or something. And then at what point it went to two other families, and then the last family that was living here was the DeWares. Mother and father, 3 daughters. Mother and father both passed away. They both had cancer, different types of cancer. So, not even related, but
did they die in this house?
Yeah, Melanie died in this room. Their 3 daughters didn't want to take care of the place, so they put it up on the market. I bought it like a year and a half ago now. Tons of crazy shit happens here. Had doors open by themselves. Doors open and shut by themselves.
Is it down here, or is it mostly upstairs, or is it?
Had things happen upstairs. The majority of the things have happened down here. 2 weeks ago, I was sitting with a friend drinking at the table, and we heard disembodied voices coming from the middle of the room. One time he was out working, doing Uber, because we both do Uber for work. And I heard the kitchen door open, and I yelled out, like, "Why are you home so early?" As soon as I got to my doorway in my bedroom, the fucking door slammed shut. When I first moved in, I know there's a window right over here in this room, which faces, like, my bed faces directly out of the window.
Yep.
And I thought it was the cars passing by at night, but I'd always see a fucking green light, like, hovering in that room.
Now, did Josiah Keith, did he kill himself in this house?
Yeah.
Do you know what room?
I'm pretty sure it was probably my bedroom, because he spent the most time in the dining room, and obviously my bedroom.
And you said he left a lot of debts behind?
Yeah, he had a lot of debts. They had to sell off all the businesses. I imagine they probably had to sell off a majority of their cattle. They had like 500 cattle. They probably had to sell off large tracts of land, I think, because they owned most of Wheaton Farm at one point. it's 500 acres or something. So there's carvings in all the fireplaces, all the doors. I don't know if you can see it right now. There's a Cairo right here. On the door. Over here. They were extremely worried about evil spirits coming in. Every door has one of these carvings on it. They were, you know, I don't know, there's like these.
It's the original pretty much too, right?
Yeah, except for this is the most modern room in the house, which they had to redo the floor, and they had to redo these beams.
Oh, okay. Well, on that, pretty much everything was just like original. Like,
Yeah.
doors and stuff.
They enclosed what was a blacksmith shop or forge outside because they did run the house as an inn. Up from the initial creation of the house, it was run as an inn because Bay Road was one of the most busy roads.
Oh yeah, so they had like a
From Providence up to Boston. This is 18th century. The irons and stuff. All the pots and pans in there are 18th century, with the exception of the cauldron, because someone stole the cauldron when they had the estate sale. They also stole Josiah Keith's III's sword. So I've been looking for it. If anyone ever finds a sword.
Did you think Josiah Keith haunts this house?
Yeah, I'm almost certain that's him.
It's the third, right? Not the...
Yeah, the third. Josiah Keith the third. And then I think it's also the 17-year-old girl that died in the house. Her name is Abigail. Abigail Williams, actually. Like the same Abigail Williams up in Salem, ironically. And then there was a 3-year-old girl that died in the house.
Watch your head, guys.
Yeah, please watch your head.
I'm gonna go one second.
So this bedroom,
Oh, it's definitely cold.
and the one next to us are what remains of the inn. Yeah, initially that third bedroom back there wouldn't have been there. Yeah, this whole upstairs would have just been a giant open space. So all the kids would have slept up here. The servant lady would have slept up here. So me and my friend who was staying with us for a few days, we came in here, and it was the first night she came here, and I'm telling her the story of the place, how Josiah Keith killed himself, and as soon as I mentioned that he killed himself, one of the fucking bulbs exploded.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Me, Zach, and her, we're standing in this room and we're trying to provoke something, and we left an offering of a lit cigarette. We watched the cigarette smoke itself and then flick itself off the table.
So I came out of the front door like any regular old day and was just walking to my car, and it's dark like it is now. And then as I was getting to my car, I'm like basically like over here, and like I'm always kind of creeped out because we don't have any lights or anything like that, and so I'm just cautious. And then from like in the back over here, and you can see right now, like, you can't see anything over there. I couldn't make out what the words were, but it sounded like something trying to get my attention. It was like a grunt, but it was like clearly like, you know, like the like intonation of something, like it wanted to like say like hello or like come here or like get my attention, like that.
Hey, you, come
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
It said, hey, you, come
Exactly.
here. So I was like, as soon as I heard that, I was like, that sounds really fucking similar. Like,
Yeah.
Which I want to make note is similar to Bill Russo's story in Rainham when he had his puckwudgie experience. Yeah, because Bill Russo's experience, he heard, cheer, cheer, he wants you, which was similar to, well, he translated it to come here, me want you.
It's also more weird to me because if I had like watched that like beforehand or like over and over, if I knew about it, like then maybe I'd be hearing it. But like no, I'm not really. I don't know.
Right,
about
so you
that.
didn't even see that documentary
No.
yet. REM pod is set up in this room, and we're about to go into the room where the slaves were held. So the last remaining slave in Massachusetts slept right here.
How can she with it?
Yeah, it's a very uncomfortable way to sleep.
Jesus. Yeah, I would say so.
We came here to visit you. We're not going to harm you in any way.
We come in peace.
I'm sorry if you're stuck in this home and if you're not able to move on. Can you make your presence known? No events on the footstep tracker. Yet.
Oh, there's fear of you sleeping like that.
Can you make one of the lights burst like you did last time?
Sure, save down, wonder.
Yeah.
Ouch!
Can you tell us who's here with us?
There's a device right here, you can talk right to it. You communicate with us. You communicate with us?
Can you tell us your name? I'm Harry.
I'm Seneca.
Oh,
We would like to know your name. What?
sound like something coming from like that corner or something. Nothing moved, but I just heard it.
Well, he does report furniture moving. Can you tell me how many years you stayed here? Are you with any of the people who committed suicide in this house? How old were you when you stayed in this house? I heard you like to move furniture. Can you concentrate all your energy and move that chair? I am going to leave the recorder right there while we change rooms. Strange, this is the coldest room up here.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. It's cold as shit.
I heard this was a tavern for the militia to stay in. If there's anyone here from the militia, can you touch this device in my hand?
Is there anyone here wants to communicate with us? Can you knock for us?
Do me a favor, take the EMF meter, right, and go to that corner over there.
That one?
Yeah. On the thermal camera, it appears as if... Alright, on the thermal camera, it appears as if there was someone hunched over, but it could just be the draft.
Yeah. Well, from 65.7 down to 3, and that's it. Just stayed there.
This is a draft, probably.
Probably just a draft. It might just be a drafty room.
There's definitely drafty in here, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I'd get lost in this house.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's definitely warmer in here than that bedroom over there.
Yeah, definitely. 70 degrees in here.
Yeah. That's what mine says too.
70.8. But it's heating here, no heating there, probably.
Like modern days, you get caught now.
Mm-hmm.
If there's anyone here with us, can you give us a sign? Any kind of sign at all? Can you walk up the stairs? Because I have the footstep tracker set up there.
Yeah.
We would like to meet you. Can you come up here and talk to us? Who here from the militia stayed in this house? How many nights did you stay here? Eight?
Yeah, it's like 8.
Okay.
I'm sure it's at 8, yeah.
Yeah.
It's at 8.
So you stayed here for 8 nights? That was weird. Well, the meter didn't go off, but it felt like someone pulled on my shirt right here.
Can you tell me what room you're in? Weird?
Den or Den or something like you said?
Den.
Who is it that we're speaking with? Can you tell us your name? The meter just spiked.
Yeah?
Yeah, right here. So we're getting something. It was a very small spike. It only went up to... Look at the temperature.
Oh, yeah.
78.7? No, 74 now.
It went up to... It wasn't a high spike. It went from 0.01. That's it.
Can you walk up these stairs to us?
And it was right in this area where I felt someone pull my shirt.
Might have. May have happened. Did you make it into the white light?
Or are you stuck here in this house?
Home. It sounds like, kind of. Right?
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, it's like home.
Home?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
So pretty much house, second house, pretty much.
Yeah.
Why is it that you're stuck here in this house? Do you still think you're part of the militia?
Can you show yourself to us?
Hold on.
So we're gonna make our way downstairs, and we're gonna leave the recorder up here. If you feel more comfortable with us leaving up here, we're gonna go. And we're also gonna leave the camera set up.
And it's always been when I've had a female in the house. Which is
Someone's
why I
hugged on her
think
hair?
it's the 17-year-old girl that died in the house,
Yeah.
Abigail.
Okay.
She's a young girl. I mean, very much something that a 17-year-old girl would do to another
So did the girl that got her hair tugged, was it happened upstairs?
No, it was down here.
Okay.
It was down here, but she would have lived upstairs. I think she died of tuberculosis.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I can look it up for you though if you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course.
Oh, you just
So does anyone have an explanation how that just happened?
no, not at all.
Off camera, this hat just...
We're not down with a chair.
Yeah. It sucks, it was off camera. This hat just fell on its own.
I heard it fall. You guys weren't walking around.
No, we were just standing here
Yeah, it was
discussing what we
saying-
were going to do next, and this hat just fell.
I seen it a little bit, like, from my eyes, seen it happen. So I was like, what?
I was staring right at it. I figured it just went down.
I just seen the corner of my eye.
And that's your personal hat? It doesn't belong to the house?
There was a doll there.
Yep.
They got rid of.
Yeah, that doll was not right. Like, everyone that came into the house would say something to him.
So I drew a goetic circle on a piece of paper and a seal of Solomon
Yep.
and a cup of Solomon, and we come back the next day and there's like black gunk on the paper, and like that's generally what it's supposed to do, but I've never seen it actually work.
I wonder if that's Abigail Williams?
Yeah, we're
Since-
just looking up the name. I don't think it's Abigail, because I was looking at the beginning of it, and there's another name right next to it. But her middle name is Abigail. And
Okay.
I'm in the book looking at it right now.
So she could be a prankster, or it could be someone trying to get our attention.
Anytime we've had it get super crazy in here, we've always provoked it,
Yeah.
left offerings,
Okay.
so, like leave a lit cigarette on the side of the table or something. So, have the filter facing towards you,
Okay, yep.
you know, so it can actually smoke it.
So the hat was like this, and there's no way it would just fall down like that and land right side up. And even if there was walking vibration,
It's still ain't fall.
no, it's still not falling,
It
no.
wouldn't fall the way it did.
Someone walked up to it and knocked it
It
over.
would fall off the
Yeah,
cover,
somebody
so
had
the-
to have knocked it like that.
Yeah, and it came down like that. So someone placed it.
So you like that hat? Can you make it move again?
You go back up there where it was.
I'm sorry we don't know your full name. I'm just gonna call you Abigail. Is that alright? Was it you that moved that hat? It did get colder in here too.
Yeah.
Big time. Can you tell me who moved the hat? Is there anybody in this room with us right now? Did he just say me?
Sounds something like that.
Yeah.
Is the 17-year-old girl with us?
What's your name? Oh? Do you mind us here visiting you?
Did you move the hat to try to scare us away? You can have a seat on the couch if you want.
Move the head again.
Can you come in here and join us? So the meter just spiked again right here. Fortunately, we caught it off camera. This is a nice home you have.
Yeah, this home's beautiful.
Very beautiful.
It's very nice. I can see why you want to stay here.
I wonder if that's a 17-year-old girl up there in that photo. That picture. She looks about 17, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Abigail, is that you in the photo?
No.
No. Who is it? Do you know? So it's fluctuating between 68 and 69 degrees
It said 177.
at the couch.
Victor pretty much spent talking to her.
So we'll leave it set up in this room. So this is Josiah Keith's room. Actually, Josiah Keith III. He shot himself in the head in this room.
With a musket.
Josiah Keith, if you're here, can you give us a sign? Touch that device on the bed. Are you aware that your sawmill was sold after? You left a lot of debt. I heard you were a lieutenant in the militia, then later on a captain. The Revolutionary War. Did you have post-traumatic stress disorder? Is that why you shot yourself?
Yeah.
Did you decide to end your life because of all your debt?
Are you the one that made the hat move?
The footstep tracker hasn't gone off yet.
You may not even be in this room right now.
Yeah, maybe not right now. Okay, do you want to lie down on the bed? So we are in the kitchen. We're about to try the cigarette method. We leave it on the corner of the table. It smokes itself. Anyone want to take a drag? Everyone wants a cigarette after a hard day's worth of work.
Take a big puff.
So we got whiskey as a peace offering, and the REM pod just went off.
Can you make the REM pod go off again? Must have saw us enjoying ourselves with the
Yeah,
thing.
right,
Figures,
right.
I'll do it too.
I want to try it too. You do it again.
Melanie was part of the Historical Society.
Yeah.
So that makes sense then.
So it's her book.
And that's weird because when we put the meter on the book, it spiked.
She's a raging alcoholic. I see.
Melanie, are you here with us? I understand this was your book. Can you speak into my recorder and tell me the words that are in this book? Can you read the book? Do you have it memorized? Tell us what's on the first page. Whoever's in here, we got a nice fire going. That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not put it on.
I know you usually like when there's another woman in here.
Are you upset that there's all men in here? So something about this book. Do you know like the history of it?
I mean, it's just the town history book.
Okay.
Not sure when it was even, I know it was published sometime in 18...
Maybe she was a history buff. Oh, she
She's
read
a history
it.
teacher.
That would explain it then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm guessing that's her then.
Yep.
That thing got off twice already. Oh.
Melanie, can you finish this sentence? The society that worshipped here moved to Medway. Can you say that word? Georgia? Melanie, were you a teacher at the Raynham High School? Can you tell us some of your history lessons? Melanie, if you're here in this house with us right now, if you touch this again, okay, she touched one device.
Yeah?
Come closer.
Melanie, if that's you that's here in this house, can you touch that device? That will be your yes. If it's someone else, can you touch that?
Josiah.
Or is it Abigail? There it goes.
There we go.
Thanks.
Melanie, do you like all these visitors here in your house?
Fine, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay.
She kept the house open to the public.
She did?
Yeah, and on Christmas time she would have she would do like for the Historical Society, she would keep the house open and, you know, a lot of people would come through the house
Yep.
during Christmas and have all the fireplaces lit up and everything, so.
Right. Melanie, you did a good job keeping up with the house.
Sorry what happened to you.
Melanie, is there a reason why you can't move on? I'm assuming because she died at such a young age.
Yeah.
She can't accept it. And she's just so in love with this house, maybe.
Connected with this house somehow.
Melanie, can you tell us the name of your children? You got Bethany, Lily, and Eaton. Are you here with Abigail? Yep. Someone say
sound like that.
Because I'm assuming since she was a young girl, maybe Melanie's being like a mother figure to her.
Could be.
So you're here with Abigail. That just started going off.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna assume that's yes. All right. Okay.
I think that's he is.
Wow. I got the almanac hanging up in there
shit.
too.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah. You know about the holes in the almanac, right?
No.
Oh, it's just toilet paper.
Oh.
They're hanging up on a string.
I would think you would need some toilet paper.
So this is the carriage house.
Yeah, this is the
And most likely slaves were in here, including the girl that slept upstairs.
Yeah. I think she slept inside. I think the blacksmith only slept up here. There's a bunch of old lumber up there. Doors up there as well. Wow. Only sensitive motion over here. Keep going. There's nothing in here. Keep going.
You got the house all came with it? All the stuff came with it?
Yeah. All of the lumber, all of the bugs, except for the mold.
I understand you worked in here. Did you spend a lot of time in here? I'm Harry, and that's Dominic. Can you speak into my recorder and tell me your name? Can you tell me what your job description was?
That's would have been the blacksmith shop. In here.
Blacksmith shop?
Yeah. Would have been the original function of it in here. Just be very careful in here because you see how rotted the beams are. And this is the only thing holding this up, and it's not connected to anything. But yeah, this is the oldest barn in the country on its original foundation.
Wow.
So the town's going to give us a grant to restore the barn.
Just imagine, I'll just watch out for those roads. So this is one of 3 wells that we have on the property.
Yeah.
This one actually opens up. The other 2 are capped right now. But
Oh,
that's a ways down.
Where we put the bodies.
But there's also the remains over here of there was a huge barn that was actually part of the lumber mill. Over here. This was part of the lumber mill. So this retaining wall right here was all part of the lumber mill.
This was all the lumber mill?
Yeah.
If it ever falls over, I fucking hope
So this is the remaining wall to his sawmill.
Oh yeah, if it ever falls over.
Exactly.
That's the creek. It's making all that noise.
Are you aware that the sawmill is gone? What year do you think it is? Are you still here working? Josiah Keith, are you out here with us tonight? Are you still working in the sawmill? So, these disembodied voices that Justin had heard, we also managed to capture them on camera as well. Upstairs where the slave had slept, we picked up these muffled voices, but we really can't make them out. Now I'm going to go ahead and amplify the sound so that way we can hear it better. Now in that room I put my recorder down, and Seneca was opening the drawer being curious to see what was inside, and we managed to capture a voice that said, "Close the drawer." And in the carriage house, we picked up another muffled voice, but again, we still really can't make it out.
Keep going, there's nothing in here. Keep going, there's nothing in here.
Now, upstairs, I felt someone tug on my hoodie, and after, there was a small spike on the EMF meter, and another visitor in the home had a similar experience when they felt someone pull on their hair, and we believe it's 17-year-old Abigail Williams being a prankster. The meter didn't go off, but it felt like someone pulled on my shirt, right here. The meter just spiked. Yeah, right here. So we're getting something. So did the girl that got her hair tugged, it happened upstairs?
No, it was down here. And it's always been when I've had a female in the house.
So she could be a prankster, or it could be someone trying to get our attention. So she's harmless. She's just a child having fun. But I do believe that she was pulling another prank when she flipped the hat off the armrest of the couch. And unfortunately, we captured it off camera because we were in the middle of debriefing, deciding on what room to investigate next. So does anyone have an explanation how that just happened?
No,
Off camera, this hat just...
We're not down with the chair.
Yeah. And even if there was walking vibration,
It's still ain't falling.
no, it's still not falling,
It
no.
wouldn't fall the way it did.
Someone walked it to now.
It'll fall off the
Yeah,
couch
somebody
or
had to
whatever.
have knocked it like that. And Abby was definitely in that room with us because we felt a sudden cold spot, and the REM pod was going off, followed by the meter spiking. And I had asked if that was her in the painting, and a young female voice replied back saying, "No." It did get colder in here too.
Yeah.
Big time.
So the meter just spiked again right here. Abigail, is that you? In the photo?
No.
No. We also did some research and learned that Melanie DeWare actually passed away in the year 2013. She was a history teacher and a part of the Historical Society. And when I went to place that EMF meter down on that history book of Easton, it went off. And being a history teacher, it makes sense that she's attached to that book. Whoever's in here, we got a nice fire going.
And it was published sometime in 18...
Maybe she was a history buff.
Oh,
She
she's
read
a
it.
history teacher.
That would explain it then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Melanie was part of the Historical Society.
Yeah.
So that makes sense then.
So it was her book.
And we had asked Melanie if she liked having all these visitors in her house, and we got a yes reply. And it turns out that during the holidays, she would actually keep the house open for the public to come in and check out the home's rich history. Melanie, do you like all these visitors here in your house?
For the Historical Society, she would keep the house open, and a lot of people would come through the house
Yep.
during Christmas and have all the fireplaces lit up and everything.
Now, we think that Melanie took on the role as mother figure to Abby, So we had asked her, "Are you here with Abby?" And a female replied back, "Yup." Then that REM pod kept going off.
Are you here with Abigail?
Yep. So you're here with Abigail. And that just started going off.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna assume that's yes. All right. Okay.
I think that's it.
So we didn't come up with any evidence that Josiah Keith haunts the house, but with the house being in the Bridgewater Triangle, there is no wonder there's all the paranormal activity that there is, especially with Zach's auditory Pukwudgie experience.
From like in the back over here, and you can see right now, you can't see anything over there. I couldn't make out what the words were, but it sounded like something trying to get my attention. It was like a grunt, but it was like clearly like, you know, like the like intonation of something, like it wanted to like say like hello or like come here or like get my attention, like that.
Hey, you, come
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
It said, hey, you, come here.
And many others reported witnessing these 3-foot tall creatures, including the famous story by Bill Russo, who had his encounter in the year 1990. And I will definitely take into consideration that the Josiah Keith house is just outside the Hockomock Swamp, where a lot of these cryptids have been known to inhabit. But Melanie is very attached to this house still, especially with her love for the history it roots from. And with 17-year-old Abby, who passed away young, she probably doesn't know that she can move on. And with Melanie being a teacher and her love for children, the other reason why she decided to stick around is to watch over Abby, care for her, and guide her, like a mother.